Alright, y'all. This is going to be round 2. We're going to try this again. And hope that this round goes a little bit better. Because obviously the last round did not go so great. Alrighty. So, I am going to go ahead and get our cup, our wine glass, into our container. And on that, get it ready. I'm prepping it since I had to wash this, get all that failed one off, and then I handled it with fingers, just cleaning it with some rubbing alcohol to make sure that we get those oils out of there. And then we're going to try to get this etching cream on. I went back to the drawing board with it and realized I think I know what I did wrong. So we're going to, try this again. I'm using my old weeding tool, but that's okay. But I really want one of my new ones. I hope I have this one on here. So I can find. Oh, there's the other one. I was like, I hope somebody in my house didn't take it thinking it was a pin. That would be not so fun for them. But I see the other one. So we're doing the opposite of what you would normally do, since this is that stencil vinyl. This is, I'm going to scroll in a little, zoom in, so y'all can see it a little bit better. So normally we would take all the blank stuff off, but in this situation we want that on here. So, because what we want to be etched is the letters. Don't stress me out. This is for a birthday present that for somebody who likes wine as well as kitty cats. So I thought this saying was perfect. No pun intended. Huh, it's so thin right there. They might just get connected with the... There we go. Alright, let's get a little bit of packing tape. Because if you remember from the first of the series here, that just seems to work good to get all those letters off of us. Now, because our glass is round, we struggled a little bit when I was putting that last stencil on. So I'm going to cut this into thirds so that I can get it on hopefully a little bit better. And then I am using the Dollar Tree. It's just for the liner for a, oh goodness gracious, I cannot. It's been a long week, y'all. And I'm like, I gotta get this done, this gift done. And where it didn't work the other night, I'm just like, what? Anyway, it's a kitchen liner for your cabinets and drawers and things of that nature, like a clear liner. So that's what I use for my transfer tape. I'm just going to have this stabilize this so that we're not rolling, basically. And then, if y'all remember, I'm working at this different table, so of course it's bouncing because I bumped it. Like, why not let me bounce y'all around? That went on pretty nice. Okay, I'm able to get the bubble out. I'm glad I'm doing this in thirds, for sure. Glad. So I can use that same piece of transfer. It's funny, you can see the don't on there. Because it's for about the same size. And it's not going to take much to get this to peel up and transfer off, so. Be resourceful. And kind of when I'm pulling that, I'm like kind of trying to make that curl. Alright, so this is where we get a little trickier. I think that worked out. Oh, lost our E. I should have pressed it down, but I didn't. I didn't think about it, so I'm just taking my weeding tool, get it off of there. Oh, it's gonna take a little more finagling. Sometimes it takes getting two tools in here and like, oh, come, no, no, no. Like, which side is sticky? Because I feel like I've laid it down both ways and it hasn't stayed. And then you can just use your needle to kind of reposition it. And then I'm going to just use my fingernail to press that down a little more. I'm going to go ahead and press the O in and the D in just a little bit too, just to make sure those are nice and pressed in there. Okay, so we're getting closer. And then let's do this other one. I think this will be an easier one to begin with because there's not as much detail in it. And we did it in a good way with doing it in thirds. Now this is the part that will be a little bit probably tricky, just because we're coming down on that curved part. So let's see if I can get this transfer piece off. And then just using my finger to push bubbles out in the air pockets to the edges. Get that O center in. Kind of got a little bit funky here, but we'll just be careful. We'll be okay. Okay, so that is now on. I like it. Now I am going to glove up because we are using this chemical Farmer Etch. I don't want to get it on my fingers. And I did a little bit more of my homework on this so that I could be a little bit more prepared, since it had been a while since I had actually done etching of glass. And I had felt like 5 minutes was really too short, but I just kind of went with it. Well, 5 minutes is probably way too short. We want it definitely to have an opportunity to set up. So we definitely need to do more like 10 to 15 minutes. And probably not have it be moved around as much. So like, we're going to put this on. And I'm using a brush this time, because when I put it on, I'm really putting it on with the letter. And I'm going to try to get all of our letters pretty quickly, and then I'll come back and maybe do a little bit more of, you know, getting in I meant to put a layer of tape on the top of the rim up here, but you know what? We're just gonna have to go with it. Rolling, rolling, rolling. I thought maybe because it's been so long since I had done etching, that maybe my armor etch was like expired or like too old. But I read really it shouldn't be unless it gets way too chunky, they say. Which I will say it did feel chunkier than the last time that I remember. But it's not like crazy chunky. So, like what they were describing. So I think we'll be okay. I mean, it definitely is gritty. So that's what we want. And we'll just kind of keep going. And then probably what I'll do is let this sit and weed out another one of our patterns. While we're letting it sit. So they say to make sure you go back over anywhere that has started to pull away from the glass, like that we thinned out a little bit. They say sometimes it will thin, and like you can see it's thinning there. So they say to make sure to go there. And like I said, I don't normally have those fails. So it took me a couple nights to recover from that. Just because I was like, oh my gosh. Which I know is terrible to say because I get crafting doesn't always come so natural for people. But when it does come very natural for you and then you have a failed one, it's really upsetting. Not gonna lie. Okay, so I will be able to handle that with the handle. So I'm going to take my gloves off. And I just set my paintbrush just down off to the side. So now I'll be able to pick it up and move it as we need to. We're 12 minutes, well, 12 and a half minutes in. So we have about 5 minutes to let that set. So I'm just going to move it off screen so that it is out of our, actually I'm not going to really move it much. I'm going to leave it right there, and then I'm just going to bring the camera, and I just about pulled my entire camera arm off the table. That would have been something. Okay, let me see. Yeah. I'm just trying to see what space I have to work with you guys. Alright. So, this little guy is going to go on the other side. So we will weed him out. Let's get this big old heart in the middle out of there. That seemed like the fun one to get. This will be a little bit more intricate to etch for sure, but I think it'll work. But what I was saying, you know, with the crafting fail, I won't lie, it was a little hit on my ego. I was like, okay, realistically, you haven't done this in a while. It's okay. You didn't ruin anything, just wasted time. that I really didn't have to get this gift done. That's okay. Yeah, you gotta do, sometimes you gotta just have a little reality check. And that was a little bit of a reality check, I would say, for me. I was like, alright, alright. And as y'all know, I'm always big about showing the process, showing the true time it takes, actually letting you see everything. So with that, at first I was like, I don't know if I want to post this failure. And I was like, you know what? My followers will appreciate it. That they know that this is real life. It's not curated, you know. And I want y'all to see how you can overcome something of that nature too, and not get hung up and stuck in that spot of, I can't believe it didn't work out. Like, just because something doesn't work the first time doesn't mean you should give up completely and not try again. And we have to get creative. My creativeness in this one to fix this mistake was, hey, you know what? Do a little more research. Do a little more prep work before you go jumping back into something you haven't done in a while. I've done so much resin stuff that I got a little gutsy, I guess, on my other stuff, or a little lax, and I got a little too confident in myself. So, okay. It's like, if I can just get it to stay on there, then I'll be able to maneuver it where I need to, so I don't lose it. Oh, it's like you're gonna stay, aren't you? And it almost did. Okay. This one says, need wine right now. I think it's cute. It's fine. I'm going to have to cut the one stencil that failed out again. But this is a good start for sure. So I just stuck all those, sorry, can't tell how far it zoomed in, so I stuck those all onto the end of my tape, and now I can just stick that to the side and that will get thrown away. So I'm just gonna go in, let's see, oh yeah, we're 17.5 minutes in, right about spot on. What I wanted, which is good. Now hopefully this is setting up where we want it to. Like, don't take away from there. Oh, yeah, I realized I didn't move y'all back in frame. So I've just been taking my brush and like moving this all around and just kind of doing this and making sure, you know, we're not seeing much of the glass. It should be pretty much covered in the white. Sorry about that. I need like the camera to like follow me, you know. Okay, so that one's weeded. We have another 5 or so minutes. So this one, I don't know if we're going to get the whole concept of this one, but we're going to try to get it as much as we can. And if I don't get every little detail, I'm going to just kind of roll with it. Because I told myself, it's like, you might not end up with every single one. And that's okay. But if we get kind of some of the gist, you know, that's what I'm more looking for. Well, the tail got none of the gist. Let's see. see if I can salvage some of these pieces to make them stay. Might not be able to, but we'll try. That's the problem with making something like that has this intricate a detail, so small to fit in the space that I needed it to fit in. It makes it really challenging to get all the detail that you wanted to be transferred. And where we're not like, normally we would weed all that out and use this left over. So all these little pieces would have been what we weeded out. It's just not working so well. I don't know if I'm going to leave that one there or not. I might. I might not. I don't know. See, I think that actually goes right there. I take it like that. I bent this all funny. So I don't know if I can get it back where I want it. Just tried to stab myself with the needle. Let's not do that. Like, I'm trying, but it's not really working. Like, maybe I just do a few, like, little pieces just to make it unique. Like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, oh goodness gracious. Come on. Come on. Over here. Yeah. That's what I want. Oh my gosh. I get it where I want it, and then it like flips over. Like, why? Oh my goodness. Okay. Like, don't breathe. Don't touch it. It's fine. I'm just using these pieces that I got stuck to my fingers. And I just keep getting them re-stuck to my fingers. Just in different ways. I'll put this one up here. Yeah. Yep. Now, I get a few more little bits up here, and then I think it's going to be good. Like, I'm almost just happy and content with that. Really close. Okay. This is really pretty. I had it sticking to my table. I kind of wish I had something to stick it on. I might actually just plop it on my alcohol bottle. I want a little something right there. Not sure what. Probably just a leaf piece would be good. Okay, and then it's probably well past the time to shift that cream around. Oh, I like it. Okay, that works. I like it. Just gives it a little sweet touch, right? And oh yeah, it is time to definitely move this around, and then gonna be time to, I'm doing it again, gonna be time to probably get in there and wash it off. It was 12 and a half, so 15 minutes would be, what are we, 27 and a half? Yeah. So I think that will be what we do. Is we'll pause the video and be able to go rinse this off, and then we'll peel back our stencil and hope that this time it worked. So I will be back. Okay, so we are back. I've rinsed it in lukewarm water. I did much better about not dumping the water into the cup. So that's positive. Now is going to be the moment of truth to see if this worked. We are going to hope so. Otherwise, we weeded that other stuff for nothing. I don't think it worked again. It has to be these glasses. It really has to be these glasses. Because that was on for so long. And didn't do it. Did not leave what we wanted it to whatsoever. I can just peel this vinyl off and that is not there. So I'm going to have to try it another time on these glasses with, I'm going to have to buy a new armor etch and just see if maybe that's it. Or my next thought is it is truly these glasses, because they, I don't know if it just is unetchable, which it shouldn't be, but it could very well be. So back to the drawing board. Round 2, maybe third time will be the charm, but you can see there's not a bit of that etched on there, which is just stumping me at this point. I don't know what is going on. So this may not, I may have to go a different route with the gift, but at least maybe I'll be way in advance if I figure this one out and do it for Christmas time. So, got the vinyl off. Once again, we didn't lose the glass, so saved that. It was just time and fail round 2. We'll try round 3 here soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.